Yo, so the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor podcast.
You know what why don't we get into what we like to do here? I'm just so excited to talk about it because it's back, baby.
Because it's back.
It's that time to talk about Bachelorette on our show! But before we get to talking about Bachelorette, you too, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, smash that thumbs up button, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we drop new Bachelorette content just like this. And if you just did, huge shout out to you. Ooh-wee! Air horns for you. Yes, Bachelorette is back this week, and we're seeing double because we got two of them, the Bachelorettes, and not only because of them, but there's twins.
Wow.
Where do we start with this? Where do we start? You know, it's not our favorite episode of the season.
It's not our fave. It's not our fave episode at all. But I guess we could just start. Let's just start with a nice little overview.
Okay.
Seemingly, no one knows how this is gonna go,
Including me.
including us, including Jesse, who is supposed to be a host, supposed to kind of help lead.
I saw him
something.
like once, and then, yeah, there was like a wild commercial where he's telling people to break up with their boyfriends or
Literally hilarious. That was the best. He's like, your boyfriend's a
something. Your boyfriend's a loser.
You should jump up and try out for the Bachelor.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Literally, it was so good.
He's wilding out there.
But like, I'm like, Jesse.
I bet you that was like a joke one, and then they were like, "We gotta keep this.
We gotta
Like,
keep
we gotta keep." You know, like it's like literally, I did that today for like intros to my show. My producer BT, she's like, "Try it this way," and I'm just like, she's like, "Boom, boom, boom, boom," you know, like doing stupid ones and stuff, and then those are the ones she ends up keeping because they're just fun, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it. Yeah. So overview, we're just kind of, you know,
Everybody's
throwing
flying by
spaghetti
the
at a
seat
wall
of
and
their
seeing what
pants.
sticks.
Yeah, everyone's flying by the seat of their pants. Rachel is flying them there. I think that was cute that, you know, Rachel came in her little plane, picked up Gabby, and they went on their little way.
Yeah.
But you know, they're looking great. They're looking fresh. Jesse literally showed up in the episode twice, if that. The fact that he was all like, I hope the girls have figured out like what they're gonna do. I'm like, where are you at in all of this? Where are you at, my dude?
I mean, he's just there for the paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure I can cash this check out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I didn't mean to boing that, but
Whoa.
yeah.
Yee.
You know, the girls. Let's just start. Let's get this out of the way.
Let's get into some of these limos.
Let's get this out of the way. They brought up Clayton, and it wasn't like something that they really felt like they wanted to keep bringing up. But
No, I mean, they showed them crying. They showed their crying scenes, and I was like, I did, you know, on Tipsy Talks. Go to our Instagram if you want to be a part of those. Every Monday. In our Tipsy Talks, I'm like, I really hope to God they don't keep showing them crying over Clayton like more than they just did, because if they do it more, I'm gonna riot. And I think the girls would probably riot too, based on their reactions to like how much Clayton was brought up in the course of the night.
this is one of the first times though that I feel like maybe it's because there's two of them. But the first time that there was such a negative reaction to, bringing up the last Bachelor that they.
I think
right?
it's especially with how how it ended for them. Mm-hmm. I think there's been some other blow up breakups situations, but I think with how he, told them that he loved them and whatever. I think it's just the case of the scenario, how it happened, where they're all like, yo, we don't want to keep reliving.
Yeah, this is a new chapter. Let it begin. So where do we begin with these limo entrances?
I mean, so the first limo I thought was pretty low key. We had mostly just regular entrances, and then we started to get into some of the gimmicks. We had, I forget the dude's name who held the two chicks, Mary Beth and Alejandra.
Yeah, he was really gripping those.
The chicks, he literally was like, I was like, are these chicks gonna die? Like,
Can I just bring up a couple that like kind of stood out to me? Like, I don't even, I had to watch it, but I didn't have time to write notes this week. I'll get on my notes next week, but. Like, you know, where I started to see the guy that had like the earmuffs, I thought that was a pretty good.
I thought that was a good move.
You know, even though
that was a good move.
I don't necessarily like him, but like, you know, I like the earmuff idea. Like, he's too much like trying to be like, I need to figure out this and then I need to figure out that. But, you know, I thought it was cute, like clever.
I thought it was cute to like kind of individualize. I think that's important for this whole situation based on what previews we see of the season.
We got this guy that comes in talking about, he's like, you know how serious I am? I haven't had sex in a year and a half.
That was, I think, the reaction out of both of the girls after he walked away. They're like, who do you think you're talking?
And they're like, well, that makes one of us. You know what I'm saying? I did mean to boing that. So, I mean, another one, obviously, we got our boy Tino coming in saying, you know, wants to fork them or something like that.
I think he's called them forking gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. That's a little different, but still all the same.
In the forklift, because he's a general contractor.
Any of them stood out to you? I like the guy that kind of came in dancing in the blue blob thing.
Okay, that was funny. And he, like, when he took it off, he was so hot. And I was like, oh, my God.
You know what was funny was Rachel later was in it.
Yeah,
that had me cackling. I was like, yo, this girl is awesome.
I loved it. There was the guy, Jason, who came in looking like he was from the cover of a romance novel. He came in all oiled up, shirtless,
like Fabio.
On a horse. And he had time with Gabby later where he, like, literally was, like, laid out on, like, a fur rug, like, talking to her. Like, and even she was like, this is so funny. Like, this is hilarious. I'm just staring at his rock hard pecs.
What about the magician guy? That was kind of creepy.
Roby the magician. I was, like, literally I'm such a nerd. I'm like, how does this trick work?
Wait,
like,
you didn't see it? Like when he dropped it down, there was some type of black thing that he flipped over or something.
Yeah, with the watch and the card.
It's like he's snitching on all his magician friends right now. This sucks. But
I know. Justin was there's two Justins, but one of them, I think one of the Justins is one of the twins, and then one of the Justins was the one who came in barefoot because he said, you know, he really wants to be grounded in this experience or like whatever bullshit line that he said. And I was just like, well, like,
what about the dude that came in with the two chairs?
I thought that was kind of cute. Like, that was all he did. I think it was funny. He was like, I know how it is, like, being on your heels all night. And they're like, is that it? And he's like, yeah. It's like, okay. See you later, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I wasn't really impressed by many of these guys. Like,
I wasn't really impressed either. Obviously, I was in love with James with his 6-foot-long, like, meatball sub situation.
That was dope. I like that. And
you could see later in the episode that people have been picking at that sandwich.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, there was enough sandwich to go around for all the guys. Just cut yourself off a little. I bet you got a little. Dude, I'd be eating some meatball sub. Maybe not there.
I would be too.
I don't know about there.
You know I would be.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, you never want to eat on the first night. Like, you know. Well, you got to find your way to eat because it's a long night. But overall, yeah, that did come up where the guys were just like coming in and talking about Clayton,
calling him a clown, doing a whole song and dance. Like the one guy with the choir singing Clayton sucks.
Yeah, that was a little hard to watch.
That one was cringy big time. And that
guy is straight cringy though.
He is. He gives big cringy vibes. But you know, I didn't like that. There's just so many, like, people bringing up Clayton just being the worst, which I'm like, yeah, no, like, we can hate on him all we want, I guess, but they're all like, ew. They hated it.
You know what I did notice, though? And this is something they kept saying, like, a couple times, was like, oh, he's so my type, and which is, like, code word for dibs. That I found out. It's like, oh, he's my type. If you say that first off, that means dibs, right?
It did. That definitely, because they showed at the beginning of the show, like, them talking a little bit more about their type, but they didn't really get into that many specifics. Like, obviously, they talked more about, I feel like they're really pigeonholing Gabby into being like, she's the funny girl. She likes someone with a sense of humor. And then, like, Rachel's being more of like she likes someone who's going to get vulnerable, which I'm like, I think they both like either, but I don't really, maybe one's more of like a deal breaker for the other.
Well, if you walked out the limo and you had your first night, which one would you pick?
Out of Gabby and Rachel?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Personally?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like them both for really different reasons. That's the thing. Like, I think
I'm picking Rachel because she's fly.
I love Rachel. I feel like me and Rachel have probably similar life experiences just based on like being from a big Italian family and that whole vibe. I also feel like I could steal her clothes more than, well, like not what she's being styled in currently, but like size wise and everything that I saw her in Clayton's season, I would steal her clothes more. While Gabby is she's so tall.
Yeah.
Which I do love.
Well, let's get into the house. Like, so we get into the house.
The house is packed. I guess it's the most dudes they've ever had on a first night. There's 32 of them. And I even feel like when they're going throughout the night, when, they're getting their different time and whatever, it just seems like there are more guys like all around than usually I feel like I've seen in previous seasons of the show, where it almost feels like there's pockets of like, you'll see pockets of people hanging out in one area, but then there'll be like pockets of areas where you're not seeing people. But I felt like a lot of this episode, you would see them like walking past like different groups of people. And I'm just like, they're just coming out of the like crevices of the mansion. Like there's not enough room for all of them.
The girls were commenting on it being kind of awkward at the beginning. I mean, I bet. But, yeah, I mean, it just took a while for these guys. There didn't seem to be much assertiveness happening from a lot of the guys.
Right, because they were all, like, so concerned of being like, how should I go about it? Because first, like, Roby took them to, like, do, like, a combined little magic show, asked them, and he was doing, like, typical, like, as if he were at, like, a kid's birthday party, like, taking a knee and talking to them like that, and I was like, bro.
Dude was talking like an anime character and shit.
Right.
I was creeped out. Then the twins come in trying to talk about how different they were when they really weren't.
When they really aren't. They do the same job for different companies. They went to the same school, which my friends that are twins did end up going to the same college, but never lived together when they were there. But they pretty much, and they were all like, he's a kind of outgoing, but this one's more bold. And they were all like, okay.
And they're like, look exactly the same.
They look exactly the same.
I mean, there's ways of you being identical and not looking exactly the same. It's like, come on, man. I'm going to go with the long haircut. Like, even down to the haircut. You can't tell me you guys are different people but have the same haircut, right?
No.
It just is weird. It's weird to be like, yeah, I like that. Like, like, which one is the one that's like, give me that one haircut that my brother
I'll get the same as him. Yeah, like... Yeah, or do they take turns being the one that says that?
That
like,
alone,
how does it go?
That alone, I'm glad like Gabby's still coming with the same vibes from from The Bachelor, because she was just like, yeah, this is no for me, dog.
She's like, this ain't doing it for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, same, sis. Plus, they were so young. They're like 24. Gabby's 31. And Rachel's either 26 or 27.
It's just a bad strategy to come in with both of them. They should have individually tried to do their own game. Like, separate themselves from being...
Right. I feel like... Yeah. They should have done that.
So, we are getting a lot of talk of the girls wanting a little smoochy smooch, and they're not really getting him. They're getting vibes, but
they're getting vibes. Like Rachel got vibes from Hayden, who looks like he's like trying to be a model UN or something with his tie and his whole look, because he gives her like a belated birthday card. I think who was it? It was she was also with the drag racer dude which
I thought that was going to be a kiss.
I thought that. I was like locked and loaded for a kiss between them, because
and then
like
they were like, he's like, you know anything about horsepower?
And she's like, brother, come on.
Yo, I mean, he had brought the car and everything, and you're not gonna kiss her at the car? Jeez. But here we come. We got Mario coming in for the first kiss with Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
And
That kiss was awkward to look.
My goodness. That's what you know, like a kiss, it really depends on how it feels and not what it looks like. Because that did not link. And we got another look at a kiss later on. But like, oh my goodness. Like, you know, I could.
I've brought this up so many times on the show that I hate watching the kissing because it makes me think about like, how do I look when I'm kissing somebody? Because I'm judging people being all like, that looks like shit. Like, that looks like not a good time. And I'm like, and especially Mario's from Naperville. He's from my hometown. And I'm all like rooting for him. And I'm all like, this looks so bad.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say about it, but it looked awkward as hell. So we got some more kisses that happened. We got Tino, who is obviously Rachel's type and her number one, bringing her to the stairs because, you know, stairs weren't her thing.
Because she cried on the stairs, as we saw at the beginning of the episode from the whole big, you know, hullabaloo.
Yeah, and he gives me a Miles Teller vibe. You know what I'm saying? He's got that like kind of like movie star-ish looking, like, you know, just like genuine, good looking guy. Good for TV. And, you know, he's got some smooth things. Like he's coming in there and he's, you know, kissing her on the stairs. So
it was cute. That was cute. I felt like that was definitely like Rachel's vibe. She seemed more of a romantic.
Yeah. Did you get a sense though when he was like, "Do you mind if I kiss you?" Like she was like, she almost said like, "I don't," and then she goes, "Yes." Like, you know, it's almost like she didn't want it to be asked, but like it is a good thing to ask, especially when you're on television. I like that he asked,
and I think who else also asked? I think, what was the dude?
Because Mario, when he came in, it was just like they stopped talking for a second, and he was just like. And leaned in with his lips, and then they started kissing, and he was like, "I hope that was okay." And he was like, "Yeah, that's okay."
Eric with an H, I think, asked to kiss Gabby too, and they did kiss.
Yeah, is that the mullet guy?
That's a mullet guy.
So what's with this mullet guy? You know,
Eric with an H, I feel like is trying to play both sides. He got a little pissy when the Rosa. Do
you think he's an F boy?
I mean,
I'm getting a little F boy vibes. Not only that, because he's got a mullet.
I mean, I'm getting baby F-boy vibes just because he was trying to play...
Lowercase F-boy?
Huh?
Lowercase F-boy vibes?
Yeah, lowercase F-boy, for sure. But I, like, just because of how he tried to, like, he got a little bit too upset by the fact that he wasn't going to get a rose from either of them, seemingly.
Well, he was too confident. That's the thing. Yeah. Like, you know, he thought he was going to get it.
Because he had a good makeout with Gabby, but I'm like, a good makeout does not make a good first impression.
Well, always. I think, you know, what kind of saved him for me is the fact that he didn't go in for the kiss with Rachel. Like, you know, that could have been.
But he thought about it.
Of course you think about it. I'm not going to strike him.
Yeah, but he kind of wanted her to, like, take the lead, I think, a little bit more, where I think with him and Gabby, they seemed to just, like, vibe, and he asked her, and it worked. But
yeah, well, I mean... I didn't mind seeing him get very disappointed. I don't know if there's much to say more. Is there any more about the house besides the first impression roses? You know, Rachel is very on point. She goes to Tino, which is, if you flip the name, is actually Tony, her name of her dad, which I found very interesting. But she goes and pins that rose right on his lapel, and we already knew that was coming. Now
we knew that. I was the only other person I thought she would give it to that night would be Hayden, just because they did vibe with the whole, you know, the birthday card and whatever. But it made more sense.
The birthday card was sweet.
No, it was sweet.
That was very sweet.
I'm interested to see, because some of the preview with him shows that he looks like he messes up something down the road. So I'm interested to see how that goes. He looks sus. He looks like a Republican senator. I don't know.
Yeah, like a Trump son or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, also, so I feel like I don't know what to think about Gabby's choice for first impression. Like, I mean, obviously the first impression, I mean, if you're going by definition, his impression of Mario was the first one to kiss her. But do you feel like there's an actual connection there?
I don't know. I feel like she's figuring it out. I'm like looking at her main guys. So I really felt like she connected more with Ryan, the guy from Boston that was doing the whole like little
the guy that kind of looked like Clayton.
Bit. Huh?
The guy that kind of looked like Clayton.
The guy that looks like either like I
He
think
came up
there
with
is
the
a
clown thing. He was
yeah,
like,
the guy who he
and the
there's
funny part is, I don't think he meant to look that he looks like Clayton when he's like, I'm not Clayton. I think he was because he was wearing the clown thing.
because he's wearing the clown
But he
thing.
took it off and he looked more like
And he
Clayton.
looks like Clayton / Jesse Palmer. It's like there's a meme that's like this is the same person in regular, bold, and italic font, just like
Jeez.
different fonts.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he was gonna lose it there when he was shushing her and stuff at the board. Like,
I know. I kind of was all like, dude, what? But like, it kind of worked with like their little. They had a good bit of banter because then he was like calling her gabbers, and she was kind of like fighting back with him. I thought. I kind of thought he would have gotten it over.
he was on a ledge for a second. He's lucky that it turned out good because that's the type of joking around with a girl these days that you don't really do like on a first impression. Like,
True.
it's just not the thing you do. Like, I could probably do that with my girl now, but like, she'd probably be like, oh my God, like he's like shushing me and telling me to like listen.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take.
It was like he was
kindly-
essentially mansplaining like how they talk in his
Right.
in his city.
I don't take kindly to being shushed like ever.
Who does?
Like ever.
Yeah.
So I probably like I would have just bitched him out.
Yeah.
But
I mean, when you got like 32 guys, like you don't really take much crap, you know what I'm saying?
right.
So she gives her first impression rose to Mario. And I'm just like, what? And
I guess he did ask her a little bit more about Clayton in a way that wasn't like so.
What did he say?
I don't remember exactly what he said, but he like did like ask her like just about her experience and like how things like that more than just being all like, yeah, so Clayton, what a fucking loser, right? Like, so I think that's maybe what won her over, but
So it was
can't-
interesting though when they were grabbing their roses, like you said earlier, like there was these big groups of guys. They put the
just like
platter
everywhere.
Yeah, they put the platter in front of them and they grab the rose, and there's literally like 25 guys in the room, and out of those 25 guys, none of them got that rose. Like you would think it would be at least one of those men. That's how many men are here. You would think at least she'd pick up the rose and be like, Joe or Brian or whatever.
I feel like they had to like walk all over the place. But I feel like Gabby like had less moving to do, but Rachel had to literally like walk up and walk past like everybody.
Yeah. So they get their roses. They are safe for a week, and this is where the girls, introduce the host of the show, and they're like, "Can we do things a little different?" Jesse Palmer's like, "You guys are running this, like, I really
he's like,
give
I'm
two
literally
shits."
here for the voiceovers.
Yeah. So they end up choosing 3 guys, which is.
The way they frame it, like they set up for the rose ceremony, seemingly, and then they're like, we feel bad that we didn't get to talk to everybody tonight. It's just how it goes. We wanted to take if Roby, the twins, if you guys could come outside with us, blah blah blah. They frame it as if they're gonna like do a little bit more one-on-one talking with them, but instead they pretty much are like, anyways, for these reasons, you guys are out. Like, you're done.
Oh, bad look. And it sucks for the twins because I understand the magician guy needing to get out of there. But
the magician guy was not. But the twins, I think the twins just came off they weren't connecting with them. It was just a bad first impression. And long term, I don't think I could have seen either of them with these twins.
Yeah. I mean, not even one of them.
No.
Yeah, just not it for me. Well, yeah, I guess, and that's pretty much where they leave it. And we get a preview of the season. What does the season look like?
I'm pissed because the season is doing what I fear. It's looking like these girls are not being able to hold as much power over their own experience as you would think. And it's looking like Rachel's getting dogged for a lot of it because they showed a lot of scenes of people not accepting her rose and being like, actually, I'm a little bit more here for Gabs. And I'm like, woof! Why are they doing this to poor Rachel? Rachel, first of all, I think they're both beautiful. I think they're both very, like needing of love and whatever, everything like that. But I'm like, damn, they're just dogging this poor girl like
Dude, that's
this.
not the way to do it. And you know what happens is that one person probably did it thinking that's their move, and then all the guys like started being like, I got to do this too. But that's not the way to do it. You get your rose and you get to stay, and then you have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Be like, maybe have a conversation with one and be like, and then if you go home, you go home, because then that just puts like Gabby in a weird situation too. Like, you know,
to be like, yeah, because what if she wasn't planning on keeping them or whatever? It just gets, I'm very interested to see how this double rose ceremony is going to go, besides seeing that awful bit, as well as seeing, you know, how long they're on this cruise ship, because they show them on the cruise ship and going to like Paris and going to like whatever. So I don't really know where they're going to be bopping around, or like what's going to be part of that whole thing.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it seems like they try to do something different, even though we've seen this before, where they've had 2 bachelorettes and guys got to pick. Like at least with the last time, it was just as messed up, but like at least they got it over with.
But it only lasted one night.
Yeah,
it only lasted one night of being fucked up.
Exactly. I completely understand that. So, anything else come out of the like full season preview that you noticed? Like anybody that kind of looks like they're gonna be the villain?
Like Hayden is gonna have to apologize for something. I was trying to think, who's the other one that looked like.
They were talking about someone saying that like, I can't trust these bitches.
These bitches, yeah. I'm ready. Like when I saw that, I was like, my mouth also dropped like Gabby's did. And I was like, who am I going to have to slap? Like, I am here for these ladies. I am here for the girls. Mm-hmm. I am a girly's girl in this sense. And I am like, these men better not be screwing them over. And I'm just so nervous based. Obviously, they have to amp up the like drama and everything for the rest of the season. Like, I am hooked. I will say I am hooked. They did a good job. But, I don't want to see the power being taken out of their hands. This is their show.
Yeah. I'm hooked too. First night, not as impressive as like the rest of the season. I'm hoping
of course
it's gonna
not.
Go. This happens every time though. It's just editing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the editing.
The editing gets us good. It does. I mean, they've been doing this for like 2 decades at this point. So.
Damn. They try to feed us like it's going to be something different, but it's the same old stew.
Same old stew.
You know, that Bachelor beef stew.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Same old stew. So, yeah, I mean, you know, we're going to be here every week talking about, what do you guys think of it, though? Let us know in the comments. Are you going for Rachel, or are you going for Gabby out the limo? I mean, be honest. Like, you can only pick one. You can only pick one. Who was your favorite entrance? Who was the worst person? Who do you think is going to be the villain? I need to know in the comments.
Yeah, Eric might be villain vibes, but ooh. I don't know. I haven't been able to peg a true villain yet.
You got Eric with the CH.
With the CH, and then I guess the guy who came in with the choir, he looks like a villain, but I don't know if he actually.
Well, because he was talking about Mario. He was talking shit about Mario. Like
he was.
What was he saying?
He was all like, "Well, I guess you know he came in like a dancer, and she likes that kind of goofy stuff." Like that's like,
dude, I'm like, what are you saying? Like, why are you trying to make this mullet guy feel better? Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Well, that's our Bachelorette talk. We'll be back with episode 2 next week. V, what do we got for what we like to call crickets? No. What we got more stuff?
More Bachelor stuff.
Oh
Two more
my
Bachelor
goodness!
things.
Wait! I didn't know. Let's rewind. Well,
first,
what do we got for Bachelor Nation news? I forgot we have to do that after this.
Susie and Clayton have already made some tiki-talkies about their impression of, you know, Clayton being shown the way that he was.
Oh my goodness!
And of course, like,
what's this? What's the tea?
Susie's like, you know, I forget, she used some sort of popular audio right now where it's all like making fun. She's all like, blah, 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 like, that's my man, like, whatever. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Stay in Virginia Beach, have a good time. And then
I hope these age well.
Yeah, we'll see, sis. And then Nate, there's rumors swirling that Nate might be with Deandra, who was on, whose season was she on? Was she on Peter Weber's season, maybe? I don't remember. Because she was seen photographed with a necklace that looks like it's like his necklace, and there was like some drama surrounding, like, I think he either blocked Michelle. I think Michelle blocked him, maybe, and he unfollowed her. There's just a whole, seemingly that breakup's looking a little bit more messy by the day. So we'll have to see what comes out of that.
Goodness gracious. Anything else?
No, I think that was the main stuff.
I was seeing something like there's like, the ongoing versus beef of Balake and Nick Viall over these Katie Thurston things, or like texts or DMs that Nick Viall. Did you hear about this?
No, wait, explain.
Well, I guess like back in the day, like Nick Viall was like, that's so messed up that Blake would drop these like screenshots of text
the screenshots
with Kaylin and stuff, and he was like doing it to like prove that like he wasn't like sitting here on the prowl or whatever. I think, and so Nick is just in his high horse like talking shit. And now like Nick has come and like showing screenshots of things with like Katie. I guess Katie was like saying that her followers were coming at her being like, Nick is talking shit about you or something. And so she's like, why are you doing this? And he's all like, and he tried to like flip it in some way of being like, and I'm telling this probably terribly wrong because I just literally saw it like right before we started the show.
Right. But I saw little bits of this.
Yeah, you'll probably see more of it. I'm just bringing it up because that's what we got to do here. But I don't think Nick Viall and Blake are ever going to see eye to eye.
No, I don't think they really ever have, because they're both like,
I don't know though. I think I'm more team Blake. I mean, Blake is doing a rebrand.
I will be honest, and I've said this before on this show, I'm a Nick Viall apologist to the day I die. And that's a fatal flaw of mine. And I understand that.
Well, at least you admit it.
I'll never apologize for his shitty tattoos that he has now, or the fact that he thinks he knows everything about relationships just because he has a hot girlfriend now. Because
people are like talking a lot of shit about his hot girlfriend because of how old she is and stuff, like the age difference.
I mean, she's young as hell.
Yeah, like almost half his age. Yeah. So, but good for him. Good for him, dude. I'm gonna give him a round of applause for that. Do you, man? Age ain't nothing but a number, right? They say.
Oh, woof. Anyways.
So yes, that's all we got for Bachelor Nation.
Future Bachelor Podcast.